go through our demonstration of Camtasia today, I may go a little fast. Okay, I might do some advanced topics. I really wanted to show you how you could go from whatever video you create to making it fancier and see why you'd want to use this tool. If you're looking for a lighter tool, tomorrow we have our Canvas Studio presentation. At TechSmith, obviously they're a global leader. That's what they would say about themselves. They have an academy. It's called TechSmith Academy, and with your ID, your school email account, you can sign up at TechSmith Academy, and you can take these videos. You can use these courses, and you can learn how to script your videos. I'm going to talk about the importance of scripting what you're doing. Okay, that's extremely important. So yeah, and I keep looking at two different screens because I know you're here, but I've got different screens all around here, so I apologize for that. But yeah, the importance of scripting. So if you're going to get to this level, you want to script out stuff for various reasons. It's very easy to bring in things that are irrelevant, and it's very easy to need to bring in a visual that you weren't prepared for, because you have to kind of line up all these things in advance. If you'll notice, if you're looking at my screen, I have all these windows open, right? These windows are open so that I can keep an eye on things, for one, but also so I can have my artifacts that I need to bring into the video ready. So I'm going to be talking about the dashboard, my demo course, and this particular assignment. So they're already open, right? So I can move things and show you my recording. Okay. All right, so this is, so just be aware that TechSmith Academy is a pretty cool thing for you, and you can download it and get started. So I did mention that it's important to talk about scripts. Okay, so here's a sample script that I created for today's demo. So I recorded this last night. It's not fabulous, but I wanted to show you how having a script really keeps me on track and really helps me say what I want to say. So I've got a column that says, when is this happening? I've got a column that says how, or what's on the screen maybe. Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out in my brain as I'm going through this, and then voiceovers, what am I going to say? Okay, so when you see this video that I started last night, there's an opening, creating check-in assignments, right? So I wanted to say, if I'm going to do this, and I'm going to present this to you guys, let's just go ahead and talk about regular and effective contact, and let's talk about, what is a great topic for you guys to use this fall. You're going to need to measure what your students are doing. So I said, well, let's create a video about that, how we're going to measure stuff. Okay, so you're going to see in a second, you're going to see check-in assignments, woo, text flying. Then you're going to see a welcome message, okay? And I'm saying this, and I actually recorded it so that I memorize the script, so I say this, so I don't have any ums and ahs, and I'm, just making it real clear. Now, it doesn't have to be polished so much. So if you went to Michelle's demonstration today, she said, well, it's okay to be real. She said it's okay to, make mistakes, and that's fine when you're live, right? Because you can correct it. But if it's recorded and you're making a mistake, and they're watching it again and they don't know it's a mistake, okay, then we've got to, we got to think about that, right? We got to think about that. All right. If everybody's saying the same thing, why is everybody saying the same thing that's wrong? And I go back and look at a video because I said it wrong, right? It's easy. So, so think about what you're doing. Keep your videos short. Keep them, I would say, no more than 15 minutes, and then give them something to do. Don't go into this going, I'm going to create every single video, for the first week, right? Maybe just do one video that you're going to present in 2 weeks so you can polish it, get it ready, learn how to use these tools. Yes, you can present. Yes, you can record yourself, and we're fine with that. But remember that sometimes they will fall asleep. Okay, you got to entertain, right? You got to be here, got to be energetic, wave your hands, do something, to keep people moving. So I've got, so it's just a Word document, right? 1 is the opening, 2 is welcome, 3 is what is regular and effective contact, 4 is definition, and add an assignment. So how do I do an assignment? You're going to see this in a second. Then it's create the assignment, right? And I type this out. Why? Because I forget. Okay, I get it. You guys know what you want to do, but when you have to record it, put it up there, a little bit harder. Type instructions. Okay, so 6 and 7 aren't on the video yet. I said, oh, I gotta show them that I'm really doing this, so I can show them different things. So you're gonna see a Camtasia project here in a second, hopefully, if everything works okay. All right, so think about scripts. Many ways to write scripts. You can find tons of scripts on the internet. You just go to Google, sample template scripts, and boom, go from there. Okay, but you're thinking about a script for a screencast. The key word is screencast because you want to have key things on the screen for them to visualize. And it might be Word. Some people don't realize how much they could do in a screencast with just Word and the internet. It's pretty amazing. Hopefully I can show you that a little bit today. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. So Camtasia is a pretty big tool. Okay, I just opened it up. Hopefully you guys can see Camtasia on my screen. Just nod your head if you can. Okay, good, cool. All right, so it opens up. You can open up a new project, new recording, things like that. I actually have a project. I want you to see, so it's a check-in activity. And I want you to see what was created first, because this is a rough draft, truly rough draft, right? Okay, created last night. Not very good. I didn't want to impress you at the beginning. I wanted you to just see that anybody can do this, and then where do we go from there? Okay, so as I'm looking at my video screen, this is what Camtasia looks like. Okay, all right. You'll notice that here is what's going to play, right? This is called something like the stage or something like that. I don't know the exact terminology. You'll notice here I have different media types. Okay, so I can click on different media types here, and I can drag them down here to what's called the timeline. Do you see the timeline at the bottom? As I slide this time slider, see how the numbers change, the seconds? You guys okay? You guys can't see that? So when I play this here in a second, you're going to see, right, as I move the playhead around, just like on a record player or, video, stop the video and record. Yeah, I'm seeing different parts on the screen above, right, in the stage area. Okay, so things are happening, right? Now, these aren't great things that are happening because I only did this in a short amount of time last night, and I was like, how am I going to teach you guys when I feel unprepared, when I'm feeling just like you guys right now? How do we do this? I wanted to prepare this a long time ago, and yeah, I just didn't have the time. Okay, so I thought, well, let's just show you what this looks like. So at the beginning, I simply added some text. Right? So the text comes in, flies in, and then I added some voice. And if you look at it here, down here at the bottom, that's the visual, and the one below is the audio. Okay, so it's a visual and audio. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and play it so you guys can kind of see what this is like. Okay, so you can get an idea. So kind of watch what I did at the bottom, watch what I did at the top, realize this is just a rough draft. Okay, and hopefully you guys can hear this, but I don't know if you're going to hear it unless I share the screen the right way. So I'm going to stop the share real quick. Let me share the screen again. I'm going to share computer sound. I'm going to optimize this for video. So when you share, sometimes you have to optimize the Zoom share for video and script. This is where it gets little complicated. So I hope you guys can see this. Okay. I'm gonna play it real quick and a little bit of it, and then just to make sure you guys can hear the sound. Creating check-in points. Can you guys hear that? Is that better?
That was way better. Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea why. Okay, so I won't change any more settings. I don't know what they are. Got to figure that one out. Okay. Creating check-in points. Welcome back to another example of regular and effective feedback. I call this check-in points. Okay, now notice I'm just reading a script and I'm stopping between having some spaces, right? Because I want to make sure everything's working first, okay? Remember that we are trying to keep our students engaged so that they stay on the pathway to success. Here are some standards from the OEI rubric about regular and effective contact. You'll notice in this chart here. All right, so you can add effects, right? You can zoom in, add some nice effects. Instructor contact can happen in pre-course contact,
regular and effective contact.
Now, I'm not sure if I like this effect, but that's okay. We're going to change effects today, and you can kind of go, is this a better effect? Is this a worse effect? You guys will have a choice.
And there's also student-student contact, such as student-initiated contact with other students, regular and effective contact among students, and various participation.
Okay, so I put that in there because I was like, well, this is the best I'm going to do for right now, and then maybe I could show you some other effects. Okay.
So remember, of course.
Now you can see the timeline switch down here. Okay, if you kind of saw this particular section, it went from a video and then broke off. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys basically get the idea, right? So I've shown you the script. I scripted out some of it. Here are the things you can do once you have your video set up. Okay, so you notice the timeline's key here, right? So each one of these timelines is a part of a video or something that I created already. So for example, if I go to this particular video, let's see, move the playhead over. Okay, you'll notice that there's actually two video clips. If I select the bottom one, that's the stage. Okay, and notice I can move the stage and make it larger. Okay, so it fills up the whole screen. I can also select the video part that I'm in down here in the upper right hand corner. I can move it around. Okay, I could make it larger. You know, if I don't like my green t-shirt, I've got to redo this again. All right, so you can do that. You can take these objects, you can actually, grab a clip, you can move it to the beginning, right? So you can hold down the shift key, select more than one clip if you want to, okay? Drag it over, and notice it kind of just lines up with it nicely. Drag it over, so I can make it one timeline. Okay, so now it's going to go
creating check-in points. Welcome back to another example of regular and effective.
Okay, so they're little objects, right? Lots of little objects going on here. Okay, same thing here. You can select more than one at a time, so I can hold my key cursor down. I'm kind of just dragging it kind of like at an angle and just selecting just those 6 items, right? You can move them over. Okay, so now it's one big setup. Okay. How many people like this? How many people do not like this magnifying glass? Anybody does not like it? You won't hurt my feelings. I didn't like it.
I like it.
Oh, you guys like it? Okay. So you can use the magnifying glass if you want. I felt like at times it was hard for the reader to follow. I was jumping around too much. Okay. You can use different effects, but we'll just leave it there for now. Okay, cool. All right. Anybody hate it? Anybody find it like, I need to call a doctor? Okay, all right. I looked at it and I was like, man, I don't know if this is the right thing or not. All right. Okay, well, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. But anyway, so see how these are different objects, right? Clicking on different things. I'm not sure what these green lines are. Sorry, I don't know why they stay there. But anyway, you can kind of see how it's gonna work. Okay, if I select the clip where the magnifying glass is, so the magnifying glass is actually on the stage, right? So notice that some of these stages are a little bit off. If I click on this one, for example, this stage is a little bit off. I could make it larger. Okay. I can click on this and notice over here on the right side, the effect is on here. So I could change the opacity. That's not really what I wanted to change. I guess it's a cursor effect. Yeah, cursor effect. So I select the script or the clip of the video, and you can add all sorts of. So I could just say instead of magnifying, the magnify, you click on this little button, and I could get rid of it. Okay, So if you click on magnify, you get your settings for magnify, but you can actually remove that. Remove effect. Okay, so that was, I held down the control key to do that. So believe it or not, I did take a course in Camtasia, and there's so many buttons here that it takes a while to get used to it. So what I have a tendency to do is I hold down the control key. No, it's not that one. Then I hold down the option key and click, and then I hold down the command key and click. So, you know, memorizing them all sometimes is a little bit hard to do. But yes, you can add all sorts of effects. So that was control. I can click on that and I can actually remove it. So if I remove that effect, I'll show you what a different effect would be. You could use spotlight. You just drag it down here, put it right on the clip. Okay, now notice the spotlight is kind of small, so I could make the spotlight a little bit larger, right? Then the effect's going to be a little bit different. So you'll see the difference between these.
Instructor contact can happen in pre-course contact, regular and effective contact, and student-initiated contact. And there's also student-student contact, such as.
So I just want you to see, I'm trying to get you to use this tool, right? So I'm not trying to have you walk away and go, you know, I don't know how to do X, Y, and Z, because we're going to have additional training sessions. You can take the trainings from Camtasia. You can meet with me. We'll figure it out, right? I'm just trying to get you to see there's a lot of cool things you can do here once your video is created, all these different editing effects. So just, you know, keep that in mind. Good. So those are effects. And you'll notice here on the left side, right, you have your library, you have media. If I click on media, these are the things that I've already recorded. Okay, so notice I only have 5 right here. I'm going to show you an actual recording before we go, because you guys are going, well, I don't even know how to record yet. Why are you showing me this? I get it. I get it. I just want you to see where you can go with it, because sometimes you don't see that. You're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, annotations, if you want to have a bubble pop out. So this first thing that I created is actually an annotation. It's just text. I just put text in there and boom, it pops out, and it plays for as long as you put it on the what's called the playhead. Okay, transitions, that's in between. So if I want to put a transition, let's say everybody loves the checkerboard, we'll put the checkerboard right here. Notice it's just boom right there as a transition, circle stretch. Okay, everybody knows what that is, right? Who cares? You know, you just try it. You just go, okay, there it is. Okay, cube rotate, well, everybody knows what that is. Okay, so we're going to put that on there and just see what it looks like.
Creating check-in.
Woo!
Welcome back to another example of regular and effective feedback. I call this check-in.
Transition, please. What?
Remember,
Now, if you notice that it transitioned just on the video, okay, maybe I want to move this transition down here to just the stage, or maybe you want it on both areas. That was checkerboard. So I'm going to put it on this level. So that's where it gets a little interesting. It's not going between them. Not sure why it's not going between them. Okay, so just to let you know, we can do a fade here, see what that looks like. So at this point, move the playhead over. And
regular and effective contact. You'll notice in this chart.
Okay, so I'm just showing you effects just so you can kind of see them. They're kind of wonky, maybe too many. If I want to get rid of them, you can always click on them, control click, and you can remove the transition. Okay, so it's control click, remove the transition, pretty straightforward. Cool. Let's say I want to remove the magnifying glass. So I'm going to take this one off. So that's control click, remove effect. So that should transition here. Okay.
Can you make the effect go longer as well?
And you can make the effect go longer. So let's take a look at the first one. So the first one right here, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It's kind of small, isn't it? Can you guys see that when I click on that, the text here? See how there's an arrow right here? You see that, Gabby?
Barely, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if I click on that little point, it's like a, I don't know, I can make this effect go a little bit longer, and it doesn't have to necessarily go to the end, right? I could have it go up to this point and be larger. So let's see, I'm afraid if I zoom in, I'm not going to get the whole effect. But anyway, so you'll see how this works, right? So if you just do the playhead, it's going to come in, right? And it's going to get larger. I'm not sure. Oh, that's quiz. I need to get the quiz placeholder. I'll get rid of that later. Okay, so you can kind of have it zoom in. Okay, let's go to the quiz and let's remove that. I don't want a quiz right now. Okay, we don't need a quiz on the title. Right, so it's a little bit slower now because you drag the points.
I also wonder why, like, I guess, do you use the tracks just to overlay different videos and media? Is that mostly the purpose of the tracks?
Yeah, so if we go to this particular track right here, notice if I put the playhead here, my video is smaller, right? And I've got the light. So let me just click on this. See how this light is kind of annoying? Okay. You can actually just edit that track. You can just, so if I hold down the Option key and select that, it changes from circles to squares, and you can actually cut it out. Right? So I can just say, okay, I only want to show that part of the video. Okay, and if you click on the background, notice it goes down to the bottom part of the video, and you can move it around if you want the screen to be larger. So you can move things around. Notice that as I click on different things, the different track is being selected. Okay, and over here, in this part of the timeline, I actually took the sound off the video to get myself out of the way. Because right here, I'm in front of the text, and then right here, I broke it apart so you could, set it up.
So it's got more power than with Canvas Studio or even Screencast-O-Matic, because I was a little confused as to how would I use the tracks, but that makes a lot more sense now. Thank you.
And you can have as many tracks as you want. So you can add tracks. I don't know where to do that. But you can add a track. I think it just creates one when you move it around. Let's hear. So let me just show you. So for example, on this particular, let's just say I had a need to break the tracks apart. So there's an audio track and a visual track here. You can separate audio and video. Okay, when I do that, notice it moved it up to track 3, the audio. I could actually move it up and it creates a track 4. Okay, so, and if I want to have a music track, I could add a music track. So you have unlimited tracks to move stuff around. So it's really powerful what you can do. Now, as long as I don't edit this video, I mean, this track is going to be the same. I just separated the 2 tracks. But you can also adjust volume. So if you need to adjust the volume, maybe it's too loud, maybe it's too quiet, you can try adjusting the volume and things like that. Okay, so I'm trying to get you to see what you can do with it on the other end, because I know some of you are going, well, why would I want to use this, right? So this is kind of a post-editing tool also, but you can also record with it. Okay, so let's see. So let's just say I was down here at the very end of my video. Okay, and oh my gosh, why is that one so long? What is this so long for? I can't believe I recorded something that long. Usually I make mistakes. Okay, anyway, so let's just say this was perfect up to this point and I needed to record something else, okay? So I'm at the end, I've done my steps. So this is probably what you'll do for the first time, right? Is go, okay, I need to record something. How do I record something? Okay, so you just put your playhead where you want it to record. If there's nothing here, you're going to be at the beginning. You have this little record button up here. See the red button? It's going to record. Let's see, what did I want to record on my script? So let's see, in my script. So I'm going to my script. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you some magic here. So let's just say I wanted to show myself typing in something in Canvas. Okay, let's go into the stage. Okay, and let's move this over here. And let's just say I'm going to explain to people how to build this assignment. Okay, I'm going to explain to people how to build this assignment. So this is my Camtasia example, so I'm not messing up anything. But I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to talk about adding these instructions. Okay, so I'm just going to take this after reading. Okay, and I'm just going to go, we'll just cut that for now. And I'm going to talk about putting in instructions for an example. I'm going to just say, hey, here's how you put in the descriptions of your assignment. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Camtasia and got my playhead where it needs to go. I'm going to click record. Okay, can you guys see this window that pops up when it says record? Okay, you should see 4 distinct little squares. Can you guys see the 4 squares?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first thing is, what do I want to record? Okay, so if I click on this little area, I can record the whole screen, right? I guess it's kind of showing you. I can record Instagram size. Oh, Instagram size, right? So that's Instagram. I was like, I don't have Instagram open. Okay, so that's Instagram size. So if you want to create a size for an Instagram video, Facebook cover video, so they have preset sizes. If you go up to the very top, you can choose the entire monitor. I can choose monitor number 2. I can choose region. Most of the time, you're going to want to choose region. Okay, what is that little square that I want to videotape? I don't want to videotape the whole thing. I just want to videotape that one area. Okay, so I'm going to click choose region. And the region I'm trying to do is behind this window, but you'll see here in a second. I'm trying to record I'm going to be typing in the Canvas assignment window, and I'm going to select just that area. I'm going to click OK. So it's just like dragging a box on the screen. You'll notice there's a green box around the area I'm going to record. Okay. The FaceTime video basically is the video camera of me that pops up in the small little window. Unfortunately, it doesn't have my Zoom background, but that's okay. And then see how the microphone is kind of moving around. The green dots are going up and down. You want to make sure that you're getting a good voice recording. And then if you needed system audio, you could add it. So let's say you're playing some music in the background, but I wouldn't do it that way. I would just do a separate audio track for that. Okay, so when I click start recording, I got to remember my script, right? So this is where it gets complicated, right? You want to make sure you remember your script. So I'm going to say, let's think of a good assignment. Oh, I know. And I'm just going to start typing. So I'm going to click start recording. I've got 3 seconds. Oh, no, I don't want this though. Okay, well, we'll just get rid of this window. All right, so we'll cut that part out. Okay, so let's get started. When you create a description for your assignment, you want to have some sort of prompt that students are going to remember. I know, after okay, so sorry, that should have stopped, Camtasia. Okay, anyway, so if you ever run into that, you click stop, and then the recording comes down here. So it's a lot easier to work with when you don't have Zoom and Camtasia working at the same time. But anyway, so you stop the video. You can set the settings for stop the video, and I just set it up. Notice it created a 6th video right here. Okay, and if I drag it down, I can just put it right on the timeline. Okay. And you'll notice it created a small little video here. Hopefully this is working. We'll listen to it.
All right, so we'll cut. Okay, so let's get started. When you create a description for your assignment, you want to have some sort of prompt that students are going to remember. I know.
All right, so I just wanted that small part, right? So if I take the playhead back and I hit space, I'm hitting a space bar. Okay, so I'm going to try to stop it right after I say cut that part out. Boom. Okay, so you hit the space bar, it stops it exactly where it needs to be. Then this is called splitting. Edit. This is called splitting, and I'm going to choose split all. Okay, and you can memorize the keyboard settings. Notice there's a Control T or whatever. I'm going to choose split all and watch what happens at the bottom. it just split both of those clips right there. And if I delete this, it's going to start where I want it to start.
Okay, so let's get started.
Right? So don't fear if you didn't say it the right way. You can still cut it out. You want to split it. Now, do I have the original video? Yeah, this file right here, in my media is the original video. So I can go back and get the horrible version and play it again, or if I made a mistake, I can drag it on the screen again. But somehow, don't really know how, Camtasia does its magic and trims that video for you, so it's where you want it to be, right?
Okay, so let's get started. When you create a description for your assignment, you want to have some sort of prompt that students are going to remember. I know. And
Boom, and I want to stop it right there, so I'm going to split it again, edit and split all. Okay, so I don't need the rest of this. Okay. All right, so you've got, you know, you've got just this little part here.
okay, so let's get started. When you create a description for your assignment, you want to have some sort of prompt that students are going to remember. I know.
Okay, now the goal is,
Quick, Matthew. Quick
oh
question.
yeah, yeah, sorry.
Are you able to do like in Final Cut Pro, just grab it from the timeline and just literally pull it over and cut it and do the same thing instead of going through the whole process of splitting it?
Yes, you can.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like, can I do
Yeah,
here?
just grab it from the end and just make it shorter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do the one that I'm not working on.
Okay. No, I just wanted to know if it was
So
possible.
like you can take this, you see that little arrow thing, and you can drag it. You
Mhm.
can do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good observation. I don't know what I'm cutting off, but yes, you can do that.
So you can't have a preview while you're doing that then. Because in Final Cut Pro, you can you have the preview. It would be back on the main screen. So while you're moving it, you can see exactly what you're cutting, especially if you want to match it for the next track.
Yes. Yes. So yes, you can move it around. What I found is if I don't stop it in one place, I invariably catch some sound that I didn't want. Or something I didn't want. So I like to just stop it with the space bar and then split the screen. But yes, you can do it like that. You just go to the end of it and you can, yeah, you can cut it off. And same thing with the other side. You can cut it off.
But you can't see what you're doing though. That's the only part about it, right?
Yeah, so I've got to kind of guess. I'm assuming it's right there, right? So it's not as accurate. You can do it, yes.
Okay.
And if you get really, really good at this, you can kind of tell that's where I want to stop it for sure. But yeah, cool. Yeah, good question. And then my next goal was to create the screen and then paste in the text and make it look like, oh yeah, now I'm done, right? So like some time elapsed and so forth. But you get how transitions will work. I think you get how I could record that again. So I don't know if we have to go through all of that, but I am trying to get you to see that there's different tracks. There are, this is your timeline. These are different things you can set up. And I just wanted to show you how you can record, right? So you can record. When you record, you've got 3 areas you want to concentrate on. I mean, if you don't want the video of yourself, you can take the video of yourself out. You can edit things. You can split things. You can put effects on them. You can bring in call outs. And then when you're ready with your video, then you can share it. Okay, and you can share it in different ways. Okay, so let's just say the video is done. There's different things you can share. You can share it as a local file, which is like an MP4, and then upload it to Canvas. You can share it directly to YouTube. Just type in your YouTube account, share it up to YouTube, and then you can do the closed captions for that. I wouldn't share it at TechSmith. I mean, I would share it as a file, a local file, or YouTube. You could create it, share it, and then put it into Canvas Studio, and vice versa. You could create something in Canvas Studio and go, gosh, I need to edit that. How am I going to edit that? Oh, download the file, put it into Camtasia. You can break things apart. You can move it around. I think the difference between this and Canvas Studio is that you have a lot more sophisticated changes. And this is a tool, you know, that's you know, really set up for screencasts. So you could screencast with other tools, but this is specifically set up for screencasting. For, you know, there's other bells and whistles you can add. Yeah. So you know, you've got media things that you can bring in. You'll notice when I was recording earlier, here, for example, not there. Here, for example, this is just a screenshot of Microsoft Word. So I just typed something in Microsoft Word, cut it out, and just spoke over it. This is not anything fancy other than a picture of Microsoft Word. If I want to make it a little larger, right, I can make sure that it's not, there's not going to be black sides when you make a final video.